Hi there, and welcome back to the Average Person Advice channel. I'm the average guy, Nick, and today I want to talk a little bit about how to set up some passive investing in RRSP or tax-free savings account in the Canadian system. So nowadays, all the big Canadian banks, and there's also other ones like Wealthsimple, offer different types of accounts that can invest in different options. So my personal favorite is TD, but you can go with any of the big banks. They all have their own service. At the making of this video, for example, Scotia has iTrade. TD has I believe it's called Waterhouse or TD Direct Investing. And they all have their own, and again, like I said, Wealthsimple stuff has the same kind of version. Now the big piece is you want to make sure that the account that you're setting up is one that is self-directed, where you can invest in anything: stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, direct access to the stock market, right? Whereas a lot of the times when you say meet with a financial advisor at a bank, they're going to try to push to get you an account set up at the branch level. And the issue with the branch level accounts is that you have limited access, and usually it's only to their mutual funds, which then charge a higher, basically MER, which is the cost that they charge to manage those funds. What you want to do is you want to push and make sure that you get an account that's basically self-directed, so you can invest directly yourself. So depending on your bank, you probably do have to meet with someone to do the initial paperwork and get your account set up. I think Wealthsimple might have an easier solution. You might be able to do it just online without having to actually meet with a financial advisor kind of thing. So once you have your account set up, please see my other video regarding tax-free savings accounts and RRSPs. But what I would suggest is you open up one of each, and then based on your individual savings goals, you start with one, or maybe do a small investment in both, depending on your individual situation. So I'm going to sort of use RRSP, I guess, as an example. I think that's a good place for most people to start, because that's you want to build towards a good retirement plan, right? So let's say for an RRSP, once you get your account set up, what you need to do is transfer money into the account. So if you use the same bank that has your main bank that you keep your money and stuff in, it's very easy, right? You just do an account to account transfer, and you can transfer online or again in person, maybe even over the phone, all kinds of different options, and transfer the money from your personal savings account into the RRSP or tax-free savings account. If you put into the RRSP, you'll also get basically a receipt at the end of the year, which you can then use when you're doing your taxes to basically take that amount of money off of your income. So you get that money back. The tax you paid on that, you'll get that back. So once you transfer money in, what you want to do, it depends on how much you have to invest. So if you only have, say, a small amount of money, you're probably your best bet to go with mutual funds. And the reason for that is because mutual funds usually have no load. So you can invest any amount you want generally, especially once you've started. And you can sell at any point, and there's usually no additional fees to buy a mutual fund or sell a mutual fund. Most of the big banks in Canada, there's fees if you trade in stocks, or if you even need ETFs, that kind of thing. They're treated the same way as stocks, and so you have to pay a trading fee to do that. So to offset that trading fee, the best option usually is to wait till you have a decent amount of money, maybe at least a few $1,000s, and buy all at the same time into one stock. Now again, a lot of them are changing their fee structure. I know like TD now, at the making of this video, is offering a specific account for younger crowd that has basically no fees if you buy certain specific ETFs that they offer, but it's still limited. I know Wealthsimple has, I think, again, some additional options as well that gets you into that. But if you want to buy very specific stocks, say down the road, you will have to pay a fee for that. So if you're just starting, same with me when I first started, is I invested in mutual funds. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to pick a mutual fund that tracks the S&P 500, and you want to pick one that has a very low MER. And basically what the MER is the management fee for that fund by the bank or the company that created the fund. So if you're buying an index fund, mutual fund that tracks the S&P 500, it should be a fairly low MER just in general, but it's good to look at that and have knowledge and understand what that is, because essentially the bigger the MER, the less you're going to get back at the end of the day, right? So you want a low MER when you're buying those mutual funds. Then the other thing you can do, especially with mutual funds, is you can set up what they call a PAC or PAC. It's a pre-authorized contribution, and you can set up a SIP or SIP, which is a systematic investment plan. So what you can do is you can have money automatically transfer in from your main account into your investing account, every month or bi-weekly or whatever you want to do. And then you can have, with the systematic investment plan, you can have that money automatically invested into a mutual fund of your choice. So, sort of the initial setup requires a bit of work, but then once you get all that set up and you get it ready to go, now it's kind of set in and forget it. Every month automatically, you'll be putting money in, you'll be saving, you'll automatically get invested into the mutual fund for you, and then, you just can look at it or forget about it and, let the S&P 500, basically do its thing. And then, of course, if you ever need to stop that, you just contact your bank and they can turn off, the pre-authorized contributions or, systematic investment plans. You can also, of course, manually manage. So if at some point you want to trade up to an ETF or you want to buy individual stocks, but you need the money from your mutual funds, you can sell your mutual funds and then, make the purchases against an ETF or stock or something along those lines. So yeah, that's sort of passive investing 101, and we can get a little bit into the different types of S&P 500 mutual funds and ETFs. For those, really you just gotta kind of do a bit of research. I mean, if you Google the ticker symbol or the code for the mutual fund or ETF, you can get the fund facts, and you can look at them and look and see what the return has been over the last year, 3 years, 5 years, and you can also look and see what the MER is. And various other statistics, including what kind of dividend payout you might get off of that, your dividend yield and that kind of thing. So when you're first starting, if you have one with the main bank you're going on, the MER is pretty low. You can kind of start with that. But I definitely recommend, if you have some time, do some research. Look up the best S&P 500 index tracking mutual funds. And see what makes the most sense, see how it connects to maybe your bank or your bank or their direct investing system, and then decide if you want to do that. I mean, if the options you have with your bank aren't that great, maybe it makes sense to change banks or to have the money transferred into another direct investment if they have a better mutual fund with lower MER and better overall return year over year. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for signing in and taking a look. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Average Guy signing off for now. Have a good day.